Imagine a world untouched by modern machines. A world where every sunrise brought both hope and danger. The air was raw, filled with the calls of giant beasts, and every shadow could hide a predator. This was not fantasy. This was the daily reality of our prehistoric ancestors. Massive herds of mammoths shook the ground as they moved. Saber-toothed cats stalked the valleys, and humans stood small in comparison, armed with nothing more than sharpened stones, wooden spears, and the courage of a tightly bonded tribe. But here lies the question: how long could they really survive? Were they doomed to die young, as popular stories suggest? Or did some of them live long enough to pass down wisdom, guide the next generation, and shape the destiny of humanity itself? Today, we embark on a journey deep into prehistory to uncover the truth about ancient human lifespans. What we discover will challenge myths, surprise you, and reveal that survival wasn't just about strength. It was about knowledge, community, and resilience. For centuries, we've been told a story that prehistoric humans rarely made it past their 20s or 30s. Books, films, and even classrooms often show them as ragged, exhausted figures collapsing under the weight of a brutal world. But here's the twist: this isn't the whole truth. Yes, life was harsh, but not hopeless. Recent studies prove that humans living tens of thousands of years ago could reach surprisingly advanced ages, sometimes as long as people today. The confusion comes from two very different ideas: life expectancy and lifespan. Life expectancy at birth in ancient times was low, often around 20 to 35 years, but this number is misleading. Why? Because it's dragged down by one brutal factor: infant mortality. In prehistoric tribes, 30% to 50% of children never made it past age 5. Disease, accidents, infections, or malnutrition claimed their lives before they had a chance to grow. This pushed the average life expectancy down dramatically. But here's the key: if you survived childhood, your odds of reaching 40, 50, or even 60 were quite good. Archaeological evidence shows that many adults lived long enough to become grandparents, passing down knowledge of hunting, foraging, and survival. Let's look at modern hunter-gatherer tribes who live lifestyles similar to prehistoric humans. Studies of 12 such groups across 4 continents reveal an incredible pattern. About 63% of children born survive to age 15. Of those, 68% live to 45. And if you reached 45, you could expect to live another 14 to 24 years, sometimes into your late 60s. In fact, the most common age of adult death, known as the modal age, was between 68 and 78 years. Surprisingly close to today's modern societies with medicine and technology. This means that if you dodged childhood dangers, your life in prehistory could be long and meaningful. Why did it matter that some lived into old age? Because the elderly were the secret strength of prehistoric communities. They were living libraries. They remembered safe hunting grounds, dangerous seasons, the taste of poisonous berries, and the tracks of migrating animals. They told stories that taught survival lessons. They guided the young and kept traditions alive. Far from being a burden, elders increased the chances of their tribe's survival. In fact, anthropologists call this the grandmother hypothesis. Grandmothers, especially, extended human survival by helping care for children, gathering food, and freeing mothers to raise larger families. Without them, humanity might not have thrived the way it did. Of course, prehistoric life wasn't easy. Even if you survived childhood, threats lurked everywhere. A broken bone could be fatal without treatment. An infected cut could turn deadly. Wild animals could strike without warning. Harsh winters and long droughts tested every ounce of endurance. Still, humans found ways to adapt. Fire for warmth and protection. Stone tools for hunting and cutting. Tight-knit groups for defense and shared labor. Every day was a test of resilience. But humans weren't just victims of nature. They were problem solvers. Archaeologists studying ancient skeletons have found clear signs of older individuals. Some Homo erectus fossils show worn teeth, arthritis in joints, and healed injuries. Proof that people not only lived long enough to age, but were cared for by others. In Neanderthal remains, we find evidence of individuals with severe disabilities who lived for years, suggesting that their tribes supported and protected them. This compassion points to the power of community and the importance of elders in prehistoric life. So, what does this tell us? That the story of humanity is not just one of struggle, but of survival through cooperation. The myth of dying at 30 collapses under the weight of evidence. In reality, humans who survived early childhood often lived long enough to shape the destiny of their people. Our ancestors didn't just scrape by. They thrived, built families, and laid the foundation for everything we are today. So next time you picture a prehistoric human, don't imagine a figure doomed to die young. Instead, picture an elder, hair silver, voice steady, eyes filled with wisdom, teaching fire-making to children, telling stories of mammoths, and guiding their tribe through dangerous times. Because without them, humanity's story might have ended long ago. Ancient humans didn't just survive. They lived, they thrived, and through them, so do we.